Hello, good people. Welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom, Fort Petria. Yes, it's been a little bit of a while since we were in here. My bad, but I've been busy with all kind of other content and zoos and parks, and you know me, I'm a busy person. I have a lot of projects, so it's very overwhelming sometimes to trying to keep up with all of them. But nevertheless, we're back in Prehistoric Kingdom, friends. Yes. And today, I'm building another habitat inside the fort here, where I didn't really know what I kind of wanted to have here in first, so I kind of like just opened up the game and winged it a bit. I had a few Pinterest pictures I have looked at, and you know, and I just kind of like went with it, and I built one building there, and a second, and a third, and everything just kind of like, you know, it went pretty smooth. I am something that I kind of like not the biggest fan of this game. If I have to say something that I really feel like could use some work is the terrain, like how you make water, lakes and stuff. It is maybe obviously it is because I'm very used to how Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster works. But it just seems so odd how some of the water elements and mechanics work in this game. Like you have to terrain with terrain and water instead of just adding water as you've done in Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. So it's something like that's one of my big pep talks about this game. That's definitely the terrain. And the water elements and stuff. As you can see, I literally just cut it out because I was actually struggling with it, because every time I moved some terrain somewhere over on the left side outside of the habitat, some pathing and some terrain got removed as well, and it was kind of odd, so I didn't really know what to do. But I cut it out, as you can see, so now we are having the habitat as we want. And then we're kind of like just slowly adding rocks and all that stuff, as you can see. So the first building I'm doing is kind of like supposed to be some sort of a little of a shelter, but also a building for people to walk in and see them a little bit more up close through glass. So I'm making this building here I found on Pinterest. Well, mainly just the top part here where there's a tower, and then I kind of like just added my own things on it here and there. But it's kind of like an outpost kind of tower. Where you have these sort of barriers in front of it with windows, and then it's supposed to be just give a nice atmosphere. And since we are building in a fort, I can't just go completely crazy with building stuff, because a lot of the things I build have to make kind of sense, which is also one of the buildings I'm doing today, which is kind of like more on the Mediterranean side, more Spanish, I guess you could say, and where I use the whole terracotta pieces and all that stuff that we got in the update, which is really dope. So I'm building 3 buildings today. We're doing a lot. I'm doing a little bit of a like welcoming back here, since we haven't really made any Fort Petria videos for the past 2 months or so. But I'm hoping to get into a groove here with this sort of build here, and then maybe have one video for you next week or so. So I have only, so far, we only have 3 animals. This is the 3rd we're adding today. No, wait a minute, we have 4. We actually also have some of the birds, dinosaur animals. I can't really remember what they're called right now. But, as you can see, this is just going to be a building with fake windows. I'm not going to add anything to it. It's just going to be like the aesthetic of it all, you know, how it looks from afar. And I'm kind of liking the whole vibe with that. And as I said in every other Fort Petria videos, is that I am so in love with this game here, in specific sense of the whole scaling thing. It is still absolutely amazing. And what I also just saw is that your save file, every time you save, it actually saves your hours. Which is pretty cool, so you actually can see how many hours you used on this specific project here, which sometimes I've really missed in Planet Coaster and Zoo, that it kind of gives us a estimate on how much time you spend in a project. So I can tell now that we are about 40 hours into this project, so which is really cool, right? How you can see it like that. And then I have about 56 hours of the whole game, so you can kind of tell that I've learned the game a few hours before that as well. I started this, which I think is a super cool feature. I also even figured out that they updated their photo mode even as well, which is also something incredible. It's literally like reshade in a sense, just into the game, where you can change all sort of like the blur. You can change. You can put a vignette on. You can put borders. There is legit all kind of things for you to play around with. So you can get some really cool screenshots in this game already, which is super dope. As we continue here, you see me bounce back and forth here to different buildings. So this is kind of like from the entrance. This is the backside of where you actually enter the whole fort here. And we have these sort of backside buildings that were completely plain. And I was like, I need something stuff here to get going now. So we at least have some stuff to look at from the backdrop of this habitat. And I was like, what can I actually add here that can kind of make it look authentic and nice? So I was just like playing around with some of the new pieces. Like these shutter pieces here are really good, and they're actually super nice. I've used them a lot already, and they really work for everything. And even they added decals too, which is also such an improvement. Like getting decals so early in the game is literally just really amazing. Like when we got them in Planet Coaster, it was a game changer. When we got them in Zoo, it was a game changer. And Prehistoric Kingdom already makes sure we have them from early on. So that is really epic, guys. I'm really liking the whole vibe and the new pieces that were in the newest update that they gave us here through Halloween, which is really impressive what they added in. And the thing about it is that there is this scaling thing, right? So like whatever pieces you get, like if you get one specific plank, well, you have all kind of sizes with it, with that scaling object. So you can literally just need one, right? So it really opens up your creativity in a different way of here on how you can use pieces in so many different ways by using the tool or the scaling of this. So yeah, really cool. So again, we're back here at the other side, and here I am trying to make a chimney with these pieces here, because the game doesn't have any yet. Hopefully we might get one, but it's not like a big deal, because they're really actually super easy to make in this sense here, because we have all these pieces to work with. And I think so far this is like probably one of my best habitats. I'm not saying that it's gonna stand 100% done when we are done here with this habitat, because there's still some sections and stuff that I need to work with. And I also just use the fort walls to place all the way around, so they're kind of open into the water right now, which is also something I need to work on later on. So something you have to know about my builds is that I like to build like just stuff so it looks like almost templates, but it has some detailing, and you can kind of see how this is gonna look. And then eventually, the more I build, the more details and stuff that will be added to these things here. So if you might think that some buildings look a little bit not done, then they probably aren't done. But this guy here, we kind of make finish from the exterior at least. The interior is still needs a little bit of love, because I still need to make sure that the dinos walk in here. So maybe we'll do their sleeping stuff in there, and then have the guests just coming in and looking at them from outside. Here I'm making some custom windows. I'm kind of thinking, honestly, that I think I might one day just do a lot of different windows and clutter and all that stuff, like with this, since we have this scaling tool, because that was going to be really helpful, because I can still see that we're missing like crates, barrels, like all these small clutter pieces here and there that will really do a difference. So I think I might do that at one point, and then just do like a big clutter collection of stuff. I'm also streaming this game on Saturday on stream, so you should come by. I might stream it more often here over the next few months. So where I will be building it for Fort Petria as well. So yeah. But anyways, back to the windows here. As you can see, I'm starting to slowly finishing up this build here, and I'm literally just doing the exact same thing on the other tower, which I cut out. I'm just keeping in the most important things here, so you guys can kind of see how these things are getting built more likely. because a lot of it is still duplicating. I also adding walls all the way around the whole habitat, kind of making it look nice, and we add some flower beds. We're trying to make it look like people can actually walk here and stuff, as you saw a little bit in the cinematics in the start. So lots of things happening in this video, guys. There's a lot of things, but I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of music here, and then we will be back as soon as I get to the more detailing part of the last house. So as you can see here, what I actually tried to build here was another extra tower to kind of like overlook over the habitat here for our dinosaurs. So I'm doing the exact same thing as before with the chimney. It's just kind of like trying to add this chimney around, and then I feel like these two buildings kind of fit well here in this kind of like situation of how they're placed around this habitat. It also gives a very good composition, and as well, as soon as I will get the rest covered in the back, you're gonna see a lot of progress and how things are gonna start to look. I might do stuff like off camera, as I've done in the past, where I have added a few shops and a few things in the back, which I also do today in this. Well, you not really see it, but I've done it, so you will all of a sudden just see something pop up in the distance or in the background. But it's kind of like just to get this super nice composition of things, and also for when screenshots and you have to do cinematics and stuff. But mainly the part I'm doing now after I finish the two houses is I mainly just go around now and try to make their habitat look a little bit more nice with some foliage, some bushes, and just trying to make these nice areas look nice. This is where the people walk inside of the little outpost tower here, and they can kind of look down and see these guys walk around. So I'm really happy for how this turned out to be. There is still the surroundings that is not 100% done, obviously, as I've said, but I felt like this was kind of like a cool way to kind of like finish off the area by just building these sort of different things around and kind of like enclosure them inside, which I'm also doing here. So this is kind of like a style where we go back to kind of like the entrance of Fort Petria, kind of like going back to this sort of little Mediterranean sort of medieval kind of vibe, which I'm trying to do here with the, like, of course, the terracotta roofs as symbolizes kind of like this Mediterranean style, And then I'm just trying to mix it up with a little bit of brickwork too, so it kind of like is authentic still to the surroundings and some of the wall pieces and all that stuff we have around. So I feel like this is gonna be like a walkthrough. It's mainly just like a little extra scenery here, and then I feel like we can sort of make this like the like maybe a blacksmith or something like that that can like do all the things here. And then we will obviously make, as I said, some cool clutter pieces, which I'm really looking forward to. We also need to go back to our art museum, where I also need to do lots of cool things, and I have really found some cool inspiration and have some thoughts in my mind that I kind of want to try to do. And especially now we've got a little bit more new pieces, then it might actually work, what I have plans of. But that's for a future video here in Fort Petria. But as you can see here, the building slowly is coming together now, right? And I'm just giving it like a little bit of detailing today. I'm just kind of like making it look like it's there, and then I'll go back to it later on and kind of like mix around and see what I can do to make this building pop up a bit more, because it still needs like the surroundings. I only did from the left side where we have 2 buildings, so it's kind of like just to see how everything looks when it's connected together with like pathing and foliage, flower beds and all that stuff. And I think it actually looks pretty good with all these different types of styles together. As long as I just have this kind of like brickwork, like this sort of vibe you see me using here now. I'm not entirely sure if my scale is 100% correct, but I mean, we will still eventually get some people walking around in here, and then hopefully they will use some of the pathing we have hidden underneath all the brickwork and stuff we've done around this entire fort here as it is. So now I'm just trying to like spice up this guy here a little bit, as you can see here, just trying to get by making it its own little archway here, because I felt like I needed something to kind of like make it pop up here a bit. And since we don't really have any stucco kind of pillars and stuff, I felt like I had to like just go with this sort of vibe here. And then I just, you know, widen it out a bit, and then I just duplicate it all the way around to the places. So I kind of like want like a gateway on the right side, and then if you look inside, I want to have like a little, you know, like blacksmith sort of vibe where you can see inside and you can see how it all works and all that stuff. And then maybe some foliage growing up around the whole building here and stuff. So as I say, I still have lots of ideas on what to decorate with this guy, but for now I kind of like just wanted to make it fit here. So it kind of went with the vibe until I kind of went ahead and start building a lot more of this style, because I kind of wanted to make sure that everything worked perfectly fine together. And I think with mixing all these textures that I kind of like win with it, you know, and having different kind of textures for all kind of things makes everything kind of like comes together nicely. And especially also when I do a little path work between this Mediterranean blacksmith here, and then we go over to the left side where the whole viewing shelter is for the guests. We're gonna combine these 2 sections together, where a little flower bed, and then I'm gonna make some fake pathing for now, and then eventually we can do some normal pathing here, so the guests will actually walk down and go above and below these levels that we're building them. As you can see here, just doing a very, very simple flower bed. I just kind of like wanted to see how things would look if I kind of like, as I said, connected them all together, because it was very difficult for me first to figure out what I wanted to do here. It actually took me a little bit of time, and then I was just like, you know what, why don't you just place a flower bed, you know, or like just a big planter that literally it almost work every time. So that's what I did here, as you can see, and already boom, this area already looks like it's way more alive just by doing this. And especially now when we get all the path working in, and I had a little issue here with the terrain. There's some terrain it just wouldn't let me terrain it down, even though I removed the pathing and the habitat enclosures and stuff. It just wouldn't remove, so I had to improvise, and sometimes, you know, something good come out of that. So I'm not even sorry. So I made like this little flower bed or planter, just extended it a bit, so this area became a little bit more cozy, and it just feels like this is a little bit enclosed in, right? So it's not completely overwhelming for the dinosaurs to be looked at from everywhere. You know, a little bit of a nice, neat section here, which I feel like later on I'm gonna put some bunting around, definitely also some more light poles and all that stuff. You know, really get this area to pop up. Literally the entire area around this habitat. So, but we're slowly moving towards the end here, guys. I am doing pretty much the same thing over here, just adding this flower or planter, and then I just close up the area here, and as you can see, just fixing up the fencing at the end here. So so yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me hear down below what you think, and enjoy these cinematics. Have a great day, and I'll see you around. Bye.